Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where the sass is high, the opinions are strong, and the wigs are metaphorically and sometimes literally on fire. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. I'm thrilled that you stumbled into this corner of chaos. Don't worry, I bite, but only when the movie deserves it. Today, we're reviewing Fantastic Four: First Steps, Marvel's newest cosmic cocktail of trauma, teamwork, and tastefully tight suits. Before we stretch into it like Reed Richards reaching for that last brain cell in a writer's room, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, join the Patreon for early access to videos and the power to vote on what I cover next. And if you haven't seen it yet, last week I reviewed I Know What You Did Last Summer, because what's a summer without secrets, slashers, and slightly traumatized teens? Alright, now that the promo is out of the way, let's throw on our unstable molecule suits and flame on into this review. Set in a glamorously retro-futuristic 1960s fever dream, this film serves vintage aesthetic and cosmic chaos in equal measure. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm are back, and baby, they're facing their biggest glow-up challenge yet. With Earth on the menu for an intergalactic buffet hosted by a ravenous space god named Galactus and his silver-coated, moodier-than-thou herald, the Silver Surfer, the squad has to juggle hero duties, found family feels, and apocalyptic vibes. But when the world-ending drama gets personal, it's no longer just about saving the planet. It's about protecting their people, their power, and their perfectly color-coordinated legacy. And that's about all I can say without jumping into spoiler territory. So now, let's start off with one of the biggest aspects that I loved about this film: the origin without the origin. Now, this is how you skip an origin story without skipping the damn story. I'm looking directly at you, Superman, with your 60 seconds of "trust me, it happened." Fantastic Four: First Steps opens with a slick 5 to 10 minute sequence that gives us everything we need: who these four are, what happened to them, how their powers work, and even a few quick villain brawls to spice things up. No dragging, no over-explaining, just clean, purposeful setup that gets the job done while keeping the pace moving. It's tight, it's smart, and it actually respects your time and your attention span. We love a film that knows how to walk and world build at the same time. Now let's talk about this cast, because the chemistry is hotter than Johnny's flaming body, and yes, I do mean that in all possible ways. Reed Richards, played by Pedro Pascal. Now, Pedro Pascal plays Reed Richards like a man one stress sneeze away from unraveling the multiverse with his bare, overly flexible hands. He's got that signature Reed Richards arrogance. You know, the "I'm smarter than you and I will emotionally distance myself about it" vibe. But here, it's wrapped up in layers of simmering guilt, sleepless nights, and just a hint of "my therapist gave up on me." He's not just a walking brain with rubber limbs anymore. He's messy, he's complicated, he's basically a genius with a god complex and abandonment issues. And Pedro, he devours that role. Like, I mean, full 5-course meal with a stretch for dessert. It's giving smartest man in the room, but also kind of the saddest. And somehow it works. Daddy issues have never been this elastic. Now, Ben Grimm, or The Thing, played by Ebon Moss-Bachrach, this is, without question, the best live-action thing we've ever been gifted. Ebon gives us a Ben Grimm that isn't just some gravel-voiced punchline machine or a walking trauma dump in cargo shorts. He strikes that sweet, sexy middle ground, serious when he needs to be, funny when it matters, and always grounded in something that feels real. He's not just stomping around like a sad stone daddy. He's acting. There's depth, there's nuance, and there are emotional beats that hit harder than Galactus on leg day. And honestly, I bought every single moment of it. Rock body, soft center, emotionally devastating, like an artisanal gay brownie with layers. Now, Johnny Storm, played by Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn walks into this movie like, sure, I could play the flirty fireball with zero emotional depth. but what if I made you cry and blush instead? And honestly, he understood that assignment. He annotated it and handed in an extra credit essay on character development. Yes, he is cute, like kind of frustratingly cute, but not in a shirtless car commercial hot. More like he helped you move a couch and now you can't stop thinking about his freckles. That soft, charming, slightly chaotic energy is irresistible. He brings this vulnerable, almost dorky charisma to Johnny that makes you want to wrap him in a blanket right after he bursts into flames and saves the day. He's still a little reckless, still full of fire, literally and emotionally, but beneath the sparks is someone you feel for. He's not the team's comic relief. He's their heartbeat. And no, I wasn't expecting to leave the theater with a crush on Human Torch 3.0, but here we are, flaming and feeling things. Now, Sue Storm, played by Vanessa Kirby. Let's be real. Sue Storm has never gotten the respect she deserves in past adaptations. But Vanessa Kirby said, "Step aside, boys. Mommy's home." Now I've got a question. What's 4 plus 4? That's right, it's 8, and she ate this roll up. She gives us elegance, edge, and just the right amount of "I will end you," but with a smile kind of energy. She's not just the glue of the team. She's the emotional backbone, the strategic brain, and the best dressed in any room. She's the custom engineered force field holding this story together with precision and poise. She's commanding the battlefield, saving the day, and yes, serving face like it's her full-time job with benefits. Now there's one scene, no spoilers, but trust, it hurts in the best way. She locks into the moment and drags you right into the emotional core of the film. If your tear ducts don't at least flirt with the idea of leaking, you might need to have them professionally reactivated. Kirby Sue is strength, wrapped in sincerity, sharp as hell, and utterly magnetic. She doesn't walk into the spotlight, she bends it around her. Shia LaBeouf, aka the Silver Surfer, played by Julia Garner. Well, Julia Garner glides in as Shia LaBeouf like a cosmic dominatrix dipped in liquid chrome, and I mean that with full respect. She's sleek, she's sharp, and she looks like she's been sculpted from stardust and spite. The second she arrives, you feel the threat level rise. Like the universe just remembered it has consequences. Her presence is commanding without being overplayed. And her power set? Stunning. She's flipping, flying, bodying people into next week with the kind of ease that says, "I don't break a sweat, I vaporize it." But the gag is, she disappears just as quickly as she arrives. The girl shows up, ruins everyone's day in high style, and then vanishes like a sexy fever dream. I needed more backstory, more menace, more screen time, more everything. Because what we got was delicious. But what we didn't get? A missed opportunity to let Julia fully snap in silver. Now, Galactus, played by Ralph Ineson. Galactus is supposed to be this big cosmic threat, the devourer of worlds, the literal reason civilizations have panic buttons. And yet, in this film, he kind of rolled in like a bad Tinder date. Lots of hype, minimal presence, and left before dessert. Ralph Ineson, bless him, does his absolute best. His voice has that deep, mythic quality like it's been echoing through galaxies for eons. He gives you menace, he gives you gravitas, he gives you
"I'm here to destroy your planet and your peace of mind."
But unfortunately, the film barely gives him anything to work with. It's like he was invited to the main course and only got served the appetizer. The buildup to Galactus is thick with tension. You feel the scale, the fear, the weight of what's coming. But when that moment arrives, it kind of fizzles. No extended screen time, no true showcase of what he can do. He just kind of appears, says a few threatening things, and then we're already moving on. Now, it doesn't ruin the movie by any means, but it definitely leaves you with that, wait, that's it kind of feeling. He's not bad, he's just underserved. This should have been a cosmic event, not a brief galactic cameo. He deserved to feast. Instead, they gave him crumbs and then sent him home early. The action scenes in this movie serve, full stop. From the early brawls with the low-tier villains to the high-stakes throwdowns with Shia LaBeouf and Galactus. Every punch, blast, and invisible force field slaps. And let's talk about scale. The entire movie feels huge. You feel how tiny our heroes are in the face of intergalactic doom. Galactus' ship is the size of your mom's expectations, and New York becomes this tiny ant farm of chaos. The fights are massive, destructive, emotional, and never confusing. You always know who's doing what, where, and why. And that's called choreography. Now, visually speaking, this movie knows how to put on a show. The cosmic elements are jaw-dropping, shiny, vast, and just the right amount of overwhelming. It gives that intergalactic impressiveness without slipping into screensaver territory. Sue's force fields are sleek, powerful, and beautifully executed. They shimmer with control and style, like she knows she's the visual standout every time she lifts a finger. Johnny's flames? For the most part, they work. When he's mid-flight or unleashing a fire blast, it looks fantastic.
Say that again?
But occasionally, things veer into Saturday morning toy commercial territory. You know, where the fire looks more limited edition action figure than walking inferno. It's not a deal breaker, just a moment. Now, Ben, honestly, they did a solid job. Pun fully intended. The texture, the weight, the way he moves, it all feels believable for a guy built like a walking monument. He's detailed without looking like a crumbling driveway, which is already a win. But there's one unfortunate shot, just one, where the rendering dips and suddenly he's looking less Marvel and more unlockable character from a 2006 launch title. It's quick, but jarring enough to make you question it. And read. Yeah. Stretching powers remain the CGI curse no studio can fully lift. He twists and elongates like someone dropped a spaghetti noodle into a particle accelerator, and while it's technically fine, it never stops looking off. Not disastrous, but definitely giving experimental animation tests energy. No shade to the effect team. Some powers just refuse to slay on screen no matter how much money that you throw at them. As for the green screen, oh, she makes an entrance. There is one brief moment where the background separation is so obvious, it might as well waved at the audience. It's quick, it's awkward, and it screams post-production deadline. Thankfully, it's a blink and move on kind of hiccup in what's otherwise a slick and stylish effects package. Now the plot, it's straightforward and self-aware in the best way. It's not out here trying to be Inception or win a Nobel Prize in quantum confusion. It's giving crisis incoming, let's suit up and handle it, with just the right sprinkle of cosmic lore to keep the diehard fans fed without sending casual viewers spiraling into Wikipedia rabbit holes. But where it really lands is the character evolution. From the very first scene, you get a clear sense of who these four are. And by the time fists are flying and planets are nearly toast, they've each been tested, broken open, and rebuilt. They've grown, they've shifted, they've stepped into who they're meant to be, and the best part is that it all feels earned. The transformation is paced just right, with emotional beats that hit without ever feeling forced or melodramatic. It's satisfying, it's grounded, and it makes the final act feel that much bigger. Now the humor, surprisingly well behaved. It knows when to crack a joke and when to shut up and let a moment breathe. It doesn't steamroll over emotional scenes or fall into that dreaded MCU improv spiral where every line sounds like it came from a deleted SNL sketch. Most of the laughs land, some harder than others, but the balance is solid. You can go from chuckling to choking back a tear without tonal whiplash, which is rare these days. And the overall vibe? It's MCU adjacent in the best way. Connected enough to feel familiar, but with its own unique cosmic flavor. It's got personality, it's got punch, and it's refreshingly focused. No endless Easter egg hunts, no multiverse breadcrumbs, and no desperate attempt to launch 5 new spin-offs and a breakfast cereal. It tells the story in this universe and does it with style. It's bold, self-contained, and yes, I'll say it, fantastic.
Say that again?
And yes, there are 2 post-credit scenes, because of course there are. Now the first one, absolutely worth the wait. No spoilers, but it does drop a major setup that's going to have the nerdy corners of the internet vibrating. So stay seated, eyes on the screen, and screams are incoming. But the second one, it's giving bonus content. Cute, mildly amusing, but not exactly earth-shattering. If your bladder's making threats, this is your cue to make a graceful exit. So where does Fantastic Four First Steps land on the Cosmic Report card? Well, I'm giving it a solid A-. It's emotional, exciting, and actually knows how to balance cosmic chaos with character depth. The cast delivers, the visuals mostly slap, and the story keeps things tight without tripping over its own ambition. Sure, a few effects wobble and Galactus could have used more than a cameo, but overall, it does what it came to do, and it does it with flair. So if this video gave you joy, drama, or even just a mildly arched eyebrow, go ahead and like it, subscribe, and tap that notification bell like you're flirting with chaos. And if you want early access, uncut rants, and the power to decide what cinematic nonsense we dive into next, Patreon's waiting with open arms and questionable morals. I will see you next time, either serving the world or dragging another blockbuster like it personally offended me. And remember, if you can't be invisible like Sue Storm, show up late, make an entrance, and leave everyone wondering if you're the hero or the villain. Bye, sluts.